I know there's a beef between Yoda and Jeep, but we love all here at Core 4x4. Jeeps are better, but we'll give this thing a shot. We'll make this one a little bit better, like almost like a Jeep. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Spence here at Core 4x4. We finally have a Toyota in the shop. Now, we've done a ton of Jeep videos, we've done a ton of Dodge videos, but some of you may not know that we also make Toyota parts. So today we're working on a 3rd gen 4Runner. We also make parts for the 4th gen, even the FJ Cruiser, and soon we're gonna have some for the Tacoma, so stay tuned for that. But today I wanted to show you guys our rear camp kit for the 3rd gen 4Runner, which comes with control arms and the rear panhard. So let's get over to the table and we'll talk about those. Okay, so this is our Camp Series rear control arm and track bar kit. This is the K5, just meaning it comes with 5 pieces. So if you're not familiar with our series on all our parts, for the Toyota we have our Cruise, our Camp, and our Crawl series. Now for the longest time, our Camp series was our top of the line. It was our best series. So this is one of my favorite and probably one of our most popular series. Now the difference between them is that the Cruise comes with a bushing at both ends. The Camp, we step up in wall thickness on the tubing and the construction to a 5/16 wall DOM, and it also comes with a Johnny joint on the adjustable side. Now this is a single adjustable arm. If you order in the Crawl series for the 4Runners, they do come double adjustable left and right hand threaded, so you can adjust them while they're installed on the vehicle. And as always, upgraded hardware is an option when purchasing the kit, and for a 99 in Utah with rust, I would recommend it. I hope we don't have to cut any bolts on this install, but we won't know until we get under there and we start taking things apart. So let's go ahead and get this rig in the air. We're going to take the rear wheels off, and then we're going to spray everything with penetrating fluid and let that sit for a few hours, and hopefully we're not cutting any bolts. That is it. Okay, so it's actually the next day. We've let this sit overnight. Hopefully the PB blaster or penetrating fluid, whatever you want to call it, has done its job, and these bolts will come out easily. Worst case scenario, we'll have a seize bolt in the crush sleeve. That happens all the time on these older vehicles. It's happened 2 videos straight, so if you watch our last 2 videos, we were cutting bolts on both those Jeeps. Anyways, before we got into it, I wanted to talk about install a little bit. This install is really straightforward because this 4Runner just has a leveling kit on it, so we're not really changing any of the lengths in the rear. We could fine tune it a little bit. It's really unnecessary with a leveling kit. So we're just gonna be matching lengths, and if you're doing this at home and you have a leveling kit, or you're at factory height, it's really easy to do in your driveway on the ground. You're just taking one arm off at a time, matching the length, bolting it back in, and tightening the jam nuts down. Now, if you are lifted, to get your adjustments, we can always give starting lengths. Every 4Runner, Jeep, truck is loaded differently, so it's weighted differently, and how it actually sits at ride height is different for every vehicle. So they're never exact, but we can get you close. But typically on any of these 5-link, 4-link suspensions, you're gonna be setting your wheelbase mostly with the lower control arm, and then setting your pinion angle with the upper control arm. It's really that simple. Your goal is to get the wheel centered in the wheel well, and then to have your pinion correct for your driveline setup. With that being said, if you have questions, you can always reach out to us to help you with install or any of those sorts of questions. We're here. But yeah, with that, let's get into it. Oh, that's a good sign. Typically your lower bolt, the one that's closer to the ground, is the one most likely to just rust altogether. So the fact that this one came out is promising, so I'm happy. Watch the top one rust. I don't know why, if this is a Toyota thing, but this has a different size nut on the axle with the same size bolt. Okay, so if the rest of the arms come out like this, I will, that was a crush sleeve, I'll give Toyota some props. Over the last 2 Jeeps where I've been cutting bolts and fighting everything, this is a plus. We'll get this to the table, match the length, and get the other one on. All right, so right when this arm came off the 4Runner, the crush sleeve fell out and this bushing's just destroyed. So that can make it hard to measure your existing arm to match. There's a few tricks to that. I think both these crush sleeves are falling out, so we'll just pretend like they're not there. Now there's big gaping holes, so it's kind of hard to find exactly what center on center is. So this only works when the sleeves are the exact same diameter, your bushing sleeves, which it is on this arm. So we can go from either of these edges to the same edge on the other end and get center on center. So I'll put my tape measure on the outside of this edge and the inside of this edge, and that's exactly 21 inches, which is center on center for this arm. You're basically just taking your center and moving over as reference. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully I explained that well, but this is the same way to measure an arm. Now on the one we're replacing it with, unfortunately, that doesn't work because this Johnny joint is a completely different size to the bushing end, so we are actually going to measure center on center to match up. The other way, which is the oldest trick in the book, is to simply put one arm on top of the other arm and drop your bolts in, which it is less accurate when your crush sleeves are completely blown out like this, but we'll just go center on center for that. Now again, that may not be as accurate, so I am going to double check with the tape measure. Last thing I wanted to show is just the pure difference in, I love the phrase, beef, heft, 1 3/4, 5/16 wall, DOM. You can set that whole rig down on it. Never break one, never bend one. And this is like 1 1/8 inch, maybe solid. Feels kind of light. So yeah, huge upgrade. Let's get it on the rig. Putting grease on my finger. All right, as always, I highly recommend putting a little bit of grease on your wear surfaces, which is just your bushing where it contacts the bracket. This will eliminate any sort of squeaking right away. These bushings are really quiet, but sometimes it can take a minute to work the grease all the way out to the bracket. Makes the break-in process go a little faster. Not necessary on the Johnny joint side, but the bushing side definitely helps a bit. In here first, here we go. Don't move, getting a screwdriver. Leverage is your friend. How's this been? Leverage and hammers. So like I said in the intro, the axle did shift a little bit, not nearly as drastic as like on a long arm kit or something with more flex than a 4Runner, like a Jeep. I was worried about that. So we're just going to cut this bolt. I'm guessing it's because it's an aftermarket shock that the bolt is actually not coming out, it's coming in contact with the reservoir. If not, if that's a factory design flaw, strike against Toyota, which already has a lot against it. I'm just kidding. I don't want to take the shock off, so I'm just going to cut it, and then we'll just put the bolt in from the other side. There we go. That'll work. I love seeing this because this looks like a trail fix of some sort, which doesn't surprise me because this is like not even 1/2 inch solid. So again, the difference I could even see it bending when I was hitting on it with a hammer. So, another strike against Toyota. I'm just playing. I'm gonna get flamed in the comments for this video. That's right, if you love Toyota, that's fine. I grew up Jeep, some of us grew up Toyota. We're just different. Like I said, we love all vehicles here at Core 4x4. Cool, let's get it on. So I disconnected the other side, because as I said, this is much easier on the ground at ride height. They have so many things pulling on it, I can't get the axle where I need. If you look at that, this side actually just dropped in. But on the ground, one arm at a time, it's pretty easy. For up in the air, we're doing it a little different. Give me the rubber mallet. Easy as that. I said this several times, this is a little more difficult in the air, and this is exactly why the panhard, as we're drooping the axle or the track bar, is pulling the whole axle this way. So even though our arms are at equal lengths, because we still have the factory lower in and the factory panhard on, there's just not enough give to shift the axle how we want. So I'm gonna pop the panhard off now, just to see if that gives us enough. Worst case, we're gonna put a jack stand under here and put a little pressure on the suspension. Should get it to come back and settle where it needs to. But first we're gonna try the track bar, get that off and see where we're at. See that whole thing shift? And right when that happened, our upper bolt hole actually lined up pretty good. So we should be able to get our bolt in. Yeah, way closer. So we'll see if a little leverage will help us. Oh, pretty close. Uh-oh, that one might be rusted. Ooh, nope, we're good. Gotta go put a sticker on his window over there. All right, we're right there, right on top. You can be mad. One right there. We go right there on top. Okay, the clean spot on this rag. Let that dry. We're gonna put our sticker right there. How's that look? Perfect. Core 4x4. Look at all these guys. Low range, not even around anymore. They were up the street from us. Rough stuff. Some cool stickers. Beautiful. All right, so that wraps it up for our install of the control arms and the rear track bar in our camp series on the 3rd gen 4Runner we have here. Now, I give Toyota beef, but like I said, we love Toyota. We're gonna be doing a lot more parts for the Toyota family. Tacoma is next, and we'll get a video out as soon as we have our upper control arms finished for the Tacoma, so stay tuned for that. But the camp series, what we put on this 4Runner, is my favorite all-around series. It's fantastic for daily driving. This thing's gonna ride a lot better now, especially since it had just completely destroyed bushings before we got to it. It's gonna be more flexible off-road. It's gonna have better ride quality on the road. So if you're looking to upgrade your rig, check out the camp series. But yeah, that wraps it up for this, and I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching the video. If you like the Toyota content and you want to see something else, let us know. Comment down below. We got the FJ, we got the 4Runners. We're going to be doing the Tacoma. We have a lot of people asking about the Tundra, so those are all on the list for new products from Core 4x4. And as always, I really appreciate you guys watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe because that really helps us out, and we'll see you in the next one.